Donald Trump has found and appointed his human gauntlet for mass deportation. And it begs the question in this breaking story, exactly who is Tom Homan? And let me also say this as we get to this story. There should be no better reason to understand that when Donald Trump himself or anyone that surrounds him, especially in this second incoming administration, says something straight to camera, straight to your face, you should have no reason to believe it in the least. Just like in this breaking story I'm going to show you, I wouldn't necessarily believe them because this is what we're dealing with.
And we're going to have the largest deportation in the history of our country, and we're going to start with Springfield.
Yesterday, he went a step further, vowing to revoke temporary protected status for Haitian immigrants living and working legally in Springfield, Ohio. So just think about that, adding those who are here legally to a large number of those here without documentation for potential deportation.
Tonight, he posted Congresswoman Elise Stefanik is the leading candidate for U.S. ambassador to the United Nations.
The failed leadership of Kamala Harris and far-left Democrat policies have put our nation and the American people at risk.
Trump's team is working on his day one priorities, including launching mass deportations of undocumented immigrants. Some experts say it could cost $88 billion a year. Trump telling NBC News there is no choice, adding, they're not staying here. There is no price tag.
On Truth Social announcing who will be in charge of our nation's borders over the next 4 years.
That will go to Tom Homan, a career law enforcement officer. He served as the public face of the first Trump administration's efforts to step up immigration enforcement before he retired in 2018. He was also a contributor to Project 2025, the conservative blueprint for the next Republican president, which Trump has distanced himself from during his campaign.
President-elect Trump said tonight, quote, I have known Tom for a long time, and there is nobody better at policing and controlling our borders. Likewise, Tom Homan will be in charge of all deportation of illegal aliens back to their country of origin.
They will make it sound like it's impossible to come here. Last year, I don't know if we have the final figures, but almost 1 million people were legally sworn in as new citizens in this country.
They're using a loophole by claiming asylum, saying a few key phrases taught by the cartels to get released in the United States. Many don't show up in court, and those that do show up in court that get a final order removal won't leave because the Secretary Mayorkas has said to ICE, being in the country illegally on its own isn't enough for ICE to seek an arrest.
You see, that's just it. Once again, we're going to try and logically make this about the cost of mass deportation. Folks, Donald Trump nearly doubled the national debt. This is why people think that the economy was so good under Trump, because they don't pay attention to the national debt. He doesn't care what anything costs. This is a man who literally said out loud, I love debt. 7 bankruptcies. He doesn't care, because this is what Tom Homan just said in this breaking story.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
And if you think he's telling the truth, good luck to you. Because I could go down the road of all the Supreme Court justices who said Roe v. Wade was settled law, and then, once they got confirmed and were actually justices, whoopsie poop, so much for Roe v. Wade. Yes, you will hear and people will tell you that every presidency has deported people. That's true. It's accurate. I'm a huge advocate of legal immigration. Okay, I am. But understand, where do you draw the line? The second you start hearing them talk about deporting people who actually are here with documentation and legally because of the perhaps S-hole country they're from, this is the place this administration is headed. And I'm simply telling it to you today, on November 11th, Veterans Day in the United States of America. Let's take a look and see where we're at 2-3 years from now. Stay focused, stay frosty, stay strong, onward.